This lesson is about angles of triangles. You've seen some of this before, so it should be a review. The first one is the triangle angle sum theorem, which states that the sum of the measures of the angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So you probably already know that, or just a reminder, the angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So if you're given two angles of a triangle and you need to find the third, then you can do 180 minus 60 minus 50, and then whatever is left over is that angle there. So this comes out to 70 degrees. And that is this angle here, 70 degrees. There's actually a test question in an Alex assignment this week on this, where all you have to do is find the third angle of a triangle. Why do the angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees? We're going to pull some concepts from another lesson that we've learned with parallel lines and transversals. So draw parallel lines on your page like this, parallel lines. Okay, and then we are going to draw a transversal like this. And as you may recall, when you have parallel lines in a transversal, alternate interior angles are equal. So this angle is congruent to this one. Okay, and then we're going to draw another transversal that intersects right at that point, like this, to make a triangle. Okay, so these two angles are equal, and then alternate interior angles over here are equal. So alternate interior angles are congruent. And then this angle is essentially equal to itself, which the reason behind that is these three angles, this angle, and this angle, form a straight line. So therefore they add up to 180 degrees. So these three angles form a straight line, so they add up to 180 degrees. Therefore, these three angles would also add up to 180 degrees. And there's also an Alex assignment on this where it shows parallel lines and then a triangle that's made in the with the parallel lines. And just remember, alternate interior angles are equal, and then you can figure out whatever they're asking for. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, they're all always. Okay, then here is some examples where we'll practice. It says find the missing angle measures. So we have this situation here. I see a triangle right here, and then two of the angles, and then I can figure out angle 1. So to find measure of angle 1, I can take 180 degrees and subtract 43 and subtract 74, and then whatever is left over is measure of angle 1. So it comes out to 63 degrees. So that is measure of angle 1 right there. I'll zoom in even further. Okay, and then it's kind of like a puzzle. We have what we know, and then we figure out what we don't. Something I notice here is vertical angles. Vertical angles are congruent. Vertical angles are congruent. So therefore, measure of angle 1 equals measure of angle 2. So if measure of angle 1 is 63, then this is 63 degrees. Okay, and then from here, I have two angles of the triangle. I need to figure out the third. These three would add up to 180. So 180 minus 79 minus 63, whatever's left over is measure of angle 3, 38 degrees. So in that one, we went in order. we found measure of angle 1, then measure of angle 2, measure of angle 3. You can't always go in order. It just depends on what they give you, and you figure it out from there. So for example, with B, I can't figure out measure of angle 1 right now because I don't have like 2 angles of this triangle to figure out measure of angle 1. So I'll see what else I have and what I can figure out to work my way backwards. So for this one, I have 2 angles right here, so I can figure out measure of angle 2, because these 3 add to 180. So I can do 180 minus 50 minus 70 to figure out measure of angle 2. So I got 60 degrees. And then from there, vertical angles are equal, so this would also be 60 degrees. So now I figured out measure of angle 1. Then I can figure out measure of angle 3 right here because I have 2 of the 3, and I can do 180 minus 65 minus 60 comes out to 55 degrees. And then for measure of angle 4 right here, I noticed that I have these 2 angles form a straight line, so they are a linear pair. Linear pair. So that means they equal 180 degrees. Like these 2 would add to 180. So then 180 minus 60 equals 120 degrees. So this angle 4 is 120 degrees. And then also, like, you could have seen the linear pair this way too. Same thing, 180 minus 60 would be 120. So either way, with these, there's often more than one way you can figure stuff out. It's just work through it like a puzzle. And okay, then on the other side, interior and exterior angles of a triangle. Interior angles are the angles on the inside of the triangle, which makes sense. Interior, inside. Interior angles, inside. Exterior angles are formed by extending a side of the triangle, which we'll see as well. Okay, so interior angles right here are angles on the inside of the triangle. 1, 2, and 3 are interior angles. Over in this example, interior angles, again, 1, 2, and 3, they're all on the inside of the triangle. If you extend a side of the triangle, so here this side is being extended, it creates an exterior angle. So angle 4 right here is an exterior angle. And then here it shows the same thing. Extending a side of the triangle creates exterior angle 4, or you could extend it this way as well. You get an exterior angle right here, exterior angle 5. Okay, remote interior angles. So interior angles are on the inside. Remote interior angles, let me use another color. Remote interior angles are the 2 interior angles that do not touch the exterior angle. So here, remote interior angles are angle 1 and 2. 3 is an interior angle, but it touches the exterior angle, so therefore it's not remote. Why is that important? Well, for the exterior angle theorem, it states that this exterior angle is the sum of the 2 remote interior angles. So if I add these 2 together, I will get x right here. So if I add 64 plus 45, I will get x. So x equals 109 degrees. Or sometimes in the examples, like they won't give you one of these and they'll give you the exterior. You can just do 109 minus 64 to get this angle. Why does that work? Well, these 2 are supplementary. So this like 180 minus 109 would give you 71 here. And then these 3 would add up to 180. So however you want to kind of figure that out. So you technically, if you forgot this rule, you could find this angle and then find the supplement to that to find this. But whatever works. And then that's just that. So Your homework is 5-1, be on Schoology. Then work on Alex. Try to do 3 more assignments just to put yourself in a good place for the week. Finish yesterday's homework if needed. Let me know if you have questions, all the things.